Imagine living on an island so tiny that you can walk across it in just 2 minutes, but so packed with people that personal space is non-existent. This isn't some futuristic sci-fi nightmare. This is real life for the 800-plus residents of Santa Cruz de la Sloti, the world's most densely populated island. Here, houses are stacked on top of each other, 10 people squeeze into one tiny room, and there's not even enough land to bury the dead. It's a place where life is tough, resources are scarce, and yet, somehow, the community thrives. But as you'll soon see, the future of this island is in serious danger. Santa Cruz de la Sloti sits off the coast of Colombia, and it's smaller than a single football field. Yet, the population density here is 68,000 people per square kilometer. To put that into perspective, Hong Kong, one of the most overcrowded cities in the world, has just 6,700 people per square kilometer. That means Santa Cruz de la Sloti is 10 times more packed than Hong Kong. There are no cars, no motorcycles, and barely any space to walk. Privacy? Forget about it. Every single inch of land is used. If you can't build out, you build up. Homes are literally stacked on top of each other, and in some cases, the only way to get to your house is by walking through someone else's living room. And the worst part? People here are running out of space, food, clean water, and even electricity. Inside the homes, can you imagine living like this? Step inside an average home here, and you'll find 10 to 15 people crammed into a space the size of a small apartment bedroom. In one house, a mother, father, their kids, and even their grandparents share just 3 beds. No electricity, no running water, no privacy. The heat is unbearable, so people drag their mattresses outside just to sleep in the open air. And the kitchen? It's barely functional because water is so scarce that people only use it for drinking, not even for washing dishes. So, where do they get water? Well, that's part of the bigger problem, the water crisis. Drinking water is a luxury. Unlike most islands, Santa Cruz de la Sloti has no natural water source, no rivers, no lakes, no underground wells. Residents rely on rainwater, which they collect in buckets and tanks. But when it doesn't rain enough, they have to wait for water deliveries from the mainland. And it's not cheap. A single barrel of water can cost up to 10% of a family's monthly income. That means showers, cleaning, and even cooking are luxuries. And when there's a shortage, people just have to deal with it. But water isn't the only problem. Electricity. When the lights go out, life stops. Most of the time, electricity comes from a solar panel system. But when it's cloudy for days, the entire island is left in darkness. There's no refrigeration, so food spoils quickly. Businesses shut down. And forget about cold drinks or fresh vegetables, everything melts in the heat. The alternative, a diesel generator that runs at night. But fuel is expensive, so it only lasts for a few hours. And this makes one of the island's biggest issues even worse: trash, pollution, and a dying ocean. With no garbage collection system, waste is thrown straight into the ocean. Plastic bags, old shoes, broken furniture, you name it. It's in the water. But what's really shocking? Even toilets end up in the ocean. And guess what people still do in that same water? They fish for food. They wash their clothes. Some even bathe in it. The coral reefs surrounding the island, which once protected it from storms and provided fresh seafood, are now dying from pollution. And that brings us to the biggest threat Santa Cruz de la Sloti faces. Right now, the island is barely holding on. More and more children are being born. The space is running out. Resources are stretched thinner than ever. And soon, Santa Cruz de la Sloti could become completely unlivable. So, what can be done? 1. Expanding the island. Is it even possible? One idea is to artificially expand the land just like the island's founders did 200 years ago. This would mean dumping more rocks, sand, and construction materials into the ocean to create more space. But there's a big problem. The coral reefs are already struggling, and further expansion could destroy them completely. 2. Relocating families to the mainland. Some government officials have suggested relocating families to nearby coastal cities, but many residents refuse to leave. This island isn't just their home, it's their entire way of life. So, if they stay, the only real option is to improve living conditions. 3. Investing in infrastructure, water, power, and waste management. Nonprofit organizations have stepped in, working on solutions like more solar panels for consistent electricity, a better rainwater collection system so people have more drinking water, proper waste disposal programs to stop the ocean pollution. But is it enough? What's next for Santa Cruz del Islote? One thing is certain, this island's survival depends on change. Whether it's government intervention, better infrastructure, or even a shift in how people live, something needs to happen before the island collapses under its own weight. But what do you think? Should the island be expanded? Should people leave? Or is there another way to fix this crisis? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you love learning about mind-blowing places and unbelievable travel stories, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This has been Pack Fast and Fly Far, and I'll see you in the next adventure.